All
Hi.
right, all right, Jeanette. Welcome to your whiteboard challenge. Today you have the pleasure of doing the one-way flight trip challenge, or code question. You've booked a really cheap one-way flight. Unfortunately, that means you have tons of layovers before you reach your destination. The morning of, you woke up late and had to scramble to the airport to catch your first flight. However, in your rush, you accidentally scrambled all your flight tickets. You don't know the route of your entire trip now. Write a function called reconstructTrip to reconstruct your trip from your massive flight tickets. Each ticket is a two-element array with the source airport as the first element and the destination airport as the second element. The ticket for your first flight has a destination but no source, and the ticket for your final flight has a source but no destination. And let me send you over an example output, which I believe you have, right?
Yes, I'm looking right in front of it. I'll copy it to my Replit.
Okay, and then so that's what the input is going to look like, and then you have your output up right below that. That's how the result that you should have.
Okay. I know I'll have that too. Okay. So luckily it tells me what the function is called. Um,
Yeah.
so
You
that's
call it
kind of
what you want.
nice.
Yeah.
We call it a little nice little thing. Okay. Function trip. And I'll just call it tickets because it's right there. I don't think of a name.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Uh, so one thing I see in what is said is that the first side of, as you see my little scroll thingy, uh, this first part of the array for each one is the source. So that's where I would be leaving from. And then this will be my end destination, which
Yeah.
is why lax is first and ord is last. It's like I'm coming back home. Um, okay.
Oh, you're from Chicago?
Yeah.
So am I.
Really? Where at?
Or I'm right now. I'm in Skokie, Lincolnwood area.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm in the city. By South Loop.
South Loop. Okay.
Not South Loop, sorry. South of South Loop. So right before,
South.
yeah, South side, but right before it gets dangerous, right by the soccer stadium.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. All
So
right.
okay, so I need something to hold a ticket. Or how would I go about this? Oh, okay. So I want to make a already. I want something that I'm able to compare the first and the last. So maybe something that would hold it, kind of. And then I need something that would. I don't know why I keep always rereading it, hoping there will be hints in there.
Yeah. I mean, no, there's some. Um, here, you probably want to have an array that holds the result. So is that what you meant by hold?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm usually pretty bad naming stuff, so I always have a lot of holds.
Okay. Um,
So yeah, that's what I was going with. Um, yeah.
so if you look at the result, null isn't part of it, right?
Yes, I see that.
So if one of the tickets has the source is null, that
Oh,
probably means it's where it's the first one,
if
and
it
then
has null at the first one, okay.
that's probably the first the first your first trip, and then you see Chicago at the end. If you check the ticket, the destination is null, so that's probably the last one because it doesn't have a destination.
Okay, that's actually a good point. So if null is at 0, which it will be the LAX one. Well, I see here there's an array within array or many arrays.
Yeah. So since you didn't do the computer science portion, I'll give you this huge tip that makes it so much easier. So you're working with React right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you make the state this dot state that's an object, right? Everything in there is an object, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you refer to something that's in your state? You put this dot state dot whatever to say number, this dot state number, and then when you call this dot state number, it gives you whatever you stored in that number, right? Whatever's in the state there. So this dot state is an object. You could use that in any concept. You could use that here. You can call it. It won't be your result because your result is an array, but you can use it to right now to use it to reference all these tickets, and you could build a an object full of these tickets so that when you say this dot or not this dot, but the object dot LAX is going to give you San Francisco SFO. If you say the object dot ORD, it's going to give you null.
So I would basically make each ticket kind of like an object.
Not each ticket, but it's going to be all your tickets are going to be in a single object so that you can reference them easily just by referencing that. So by using that, it will make it a lot easier for you to find out which belongs to which. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Now I have to think about how I will implement that. Um, so basically we'll have to start with like an empty object to try to collect them, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could make that into my hold. Because I always feel like these things hold a lot of stuff, but then I never know if, what's gonna be. Right? Start with an empty object, and then I'm gonna want to go through each array. Oh, let me see.
So if you see, your first flight is going to be null LAX. You can't store a null in an object, so you probably can't put that in there. So you probably just want to add LAX to your result right away and then just ignore those tickets. You could add Chicago that has null at the end because it's okay if a property of an object has no value. But it can't, a key can't, has to have a value. Can't A key can't be null. So null LAX won't be able to exist in your object.
So I need something that takes care of that first.
Yeah. So right there, you have that base case that just adds the first one, and then you can go on about business as usual.
If tickets, oh, fish sticks.
But you're gonna have to loop through the that tickets array to find that one.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because I'm within the array, so right away wouldn't really help. Okay, so tickets. I don't think I would use the actual tickets, but I am I missing another like constant variable, or am I still
Well, that's up to you, but I believe the solution just has one variable. But if you want to use one, that's fine.
okay? No, I just wanted to make sure I was going the right way because
The result, actually, the result has to be an array. So you're gonna take from hold to the result. So hold is gonna hold your stuff. The result is gonna be an array, and that's what you want to return, which is the answer at the bottom.
so I have an array called an empty array for results to store
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
I haven't done any code challenges either since we started the projects. So I
Mm.
like forgot how to do a lot of this, which is not good.
Trust. I mean, I'm same here. I haven't done a JavaScript challenge in a while. I actually forgot like how that you have to make like a function and then you have to do that. I had to look that up because I just forgot it.
Yeah, I actually forgot the structure of my function for the first whiteboard. Like
Yeah.
I forgot how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I need something to loop it. So it'll be tickets. You know we're allowed to use internet because I forgot how to write a for loop.
For functions and stuff, that's fine. You just can't look up the solution.
Yeah, no, that's all I want. Um, I constantly for ever since we started the program, I'm always forgetting how it looks and what's the structure. And I usually go more for each or map and then for loops. So I always forget the structure.
Yeah. I believe it's dot for each. Or are you looking it up, or you want me to just tell you?
No, yeah, I just found it, and it definitely I don't need the tickets in front of it.
Oh, the for loop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't.
confusing it with the for each.
Yeah. You're gonna want to initialize the I. Either you want to do let I equals 0.
Oh, I always forget that one too. And actually, the one I have on 33 school doesn't even have that. Thank you. Tickets. And since it's actually gonna, there's two nulls, that means basically there's missing a ticket. So there's one, and then, oops, and then be plus plus. Then we'll get the brackets. Okay. Um, and I could go through my if, so it goes through each one. At this point, so it's gonna go look through each of the tickets. That means at this point, it's looking through each of the tickets. So if I do if ticket at 0 equals null, which is the LAX one, I could just have it return the value and then replace it somehow to be the at the first index. So if ticket 0 equals.
Are you sure you want to do that? You want to set. Wait, so explain that to me again. What did you want to do?
So at least from the for loop, from understanding at that point we're inside like the first array. So now I'm looking through like each set of arrays. And then from there, I just want to look at each first one, and wherever the first one equals null, I want to be able to return the value of it and have it store as the like first new array.
Okay, so you want to add it to the new array. Append this. the second value of that array to the new array.
Yes.
Okay.
But I still haven't pictured in my mind how I'm going to do that. I just know how to do it. Logic,
Uh,
kind of.
just result dot append,
Oh, yeah.
and then this tickets one.
Thank you. Yeah, I would not get that.
Or you also do route 0 equals ticket one. Either one, whichever makes it
Where
easy.
would the route come from?
Or I'm sorry, result. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I'm reading the solution.
oh, okay. So it'd be route 0. That actually makes more sense.
No, I'm sorry. Your code it's result, but
Oh,
in the solution it was route. I mean that's just a name. It doesn't really matter.
yeah. So I'm more interested the way you're looking at it. So it's result append, and then I'll just append. Oh, because that's a result. Sorry, slow moment, long day. So it'll be results append, and then it'll be the value. So to get the value, would I do that point tickets? I think you said already. Tickets one.
One, because that'll be the second value.
So that'll give me the second value of this ticket at line 8, and then it will give me put it here or add it, and then I just have to add the rest somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's either.
So you got all the tickets, or you got the first ticket, and this is what you want to do. If you're looking for the first ticket, this is what you want to do. Now, in this same loop, how are you gonna add the rest to that hold that you have right there?
I think I'll have to add like a push through it. Now I just have to be able to find something that I could use to match the first item. So like the first ticket to the second ticket, where like right now where it says null equals lags, if I could have the value of lags equal the first value of the first ticket, and if that happens, push it into the array down here.
Okay. Yeah, you do want to do that, but
But then
right
I
now,
want this value.
yeah, you want to do that, but right now you're working. You have everything in the tickets array, and you want to put it in the hold array because you can't do what you're doing without running several loops and starting them over, and that's just you're gonna in the computer science curriculum you're gonna find that that is inefficient. Like that takes up too much time. Like, there's faster ways to do it, and you should always look to do them that way.
Okay, so I would need something in between that kind of holds them to compare them.
Yeah, it's the hold object that you have. That's
Oh,
like this dot state. You know how this dot state, you just call the name or you call a variable, it gives you the value right away.
yeah.
So let's say you want to find, oh, which one of these this equals to this dot state, whatever, you know? You could apply that here by just change this dot state to hold because they're both objects. So
Okay.
like hold dot whatever will give you whatever you need.
Um. Okay. Mm. Okay, I get what you're saying, but then now I'm just trying to think about how I would implement it. So behold, I'm using hold. So
Yeah,
behold.
I'll send you a hint because you probably don't know this. I honestly wouldn't expect you to hold. But doing that,
Yeah, I would have not done that unless I was just const logging everything, and I know I'm not allowed to do that right now.
yeah,
Because I've got into places like that, but again, I've never done it from top of my head. I usually just console log everything to get to that point.
yeah, that's good practice, debugging and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, what that basically does is it says, okay, the first value, that's the name, and then the second value is the value of it. They're called keys and values. So you're setting the key by ticket 0 there by doing that, and then you set it equal to the second value, which is called the value. I know it's hard. So run out of words to use because they're all like similarly named. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So ticket zero at the mm, I guess it should be tickets since I actually don't have ticket anywhere.
yeah.
So ticket zero is basically pointing to this first value,
Mhm.
and at hold, I'm so confused about what this one is doing. Like it's just holding that value, and that's all it's doing. It's just storing it here.
In the hat, it's called a hash table.
Okay.
JavaScript's called an object, which is what you would be familiar with is the state, like this dot state. State in React is an object. And so you ever need to use anything in your state, you just refer to that variable name, right? And it gives you the value of that variable name. So you're initializing this basically.
Okay. So then this will be like where I would write my whatever I actually wrote this. When I would actually write my value that I would want.
For that, yeah, that ticket, which
So
would be,
which is the second part.
yeah.
Okay. So then it'll be whole ticket zero. Ticket
And
one.
so this doesn't have a, you can't like run it to see it or something like that. Probably not, right?
I don't think that's allowed.
Really?
And yeah, I don't know honestly. Oh, that's why we forget about the whole looking stuff up.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I guess you couldn't. I guess an instructor wouldn't let you debug and stuff. That's true.
Yeah. Which is kind of hard because that's usually how I work. I just
Yeah,
as I go, unless I like know already what's going on from beforehand. But yeah, we'll ticket zero equal ticket one. So
so
this, yeah, go on. Sorry.
you're done with that part, with that loop. You shouldn't use this loop anymore. You now have the first ticket is LAX in the result, and then your hold now has every other ticket. Okay, so now you can run a different loop for hold, and this is where you're going to apply that logic that you were saying earlier, where you wanted to match the first one to the second one,
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
or actually the second one to the first one.
I knew what you meant. It gets a little bit confusing.
Mhm.
You saying it out loud each time.
Yeah, you get kind of lost in your thoughts.
Yeah. So they'll be for hold. And -1. Okay. So at that point, I just want to match hold ticket 0, which is this one. Oh no, that'd be if statement. If hold ticket 1. Yeah.
This one's tough.
This
So
part is tough. What was it before? Okay.
So I'll let you do your thing. Because
Okay.
if I tell you that this is basically the answer.
Okay, then yeah, let me struggle this with a little bit and then we could go to that part.
Okay.
So at least my idea was still like using the whole ticket 0, where it's currently holding equals, which I would think is the first one, equals ticket 1. Wait, what that? I might be overthinking it. Yeah, because it keeps holding it. So it'll be hold ticket 0. So it could be something within that array that equals ticket. I'm sorry, can you give me a quick second? Sorry.
It's all right.
Um, okay, so if whole ticket equals 0. Because whole tickets will actually be just building up the object as it goes. So then when it encounters ticket 1, which is this, I should be able to just push it to the end of results. No? Yes? Or am I thinking it wrong about how it's working?
Well, right now that loop's gonna run all the way together. It's gonna keep running and it's gonna stay. I is gonna go up, but there's nothing in the loop that's gonna change. It's just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again because I is gonna go up, but not you're conditional in the loop. Like if whole ticket will not change, if I changes, it's just gonna be checking the same thing. And is that tickets or ticket you want to check?
Oh, it's tickets.
Yeah. So tickets 0, 1. It's actually exposing a problem in the first object. So in the first loop, this might clear it up. You want to do tickets. It's gonna be tickets that tickets bracket I. So here, let me type it out for you because I'm
Okay.
gonna verbalize it. That's how you want to do it for your first loop. Because if you kind of go through it right now, you're just checking if the first value in the array is null and not each ticket, you know?
Yeah, so I'm just looking literally at the first value.
Yeah, so if you put the I, it's going to loop through each array and checking the first value of the I.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because if now I'm just looking again, like you said, literally at the first ticket versus for each the first item in the first ticket.
Yeah, so you want to reflect that change to everything, and that might change the way that your code comes out.
Okay, whole tickets. Results of pen tickets. So this loops through it. Um, I think I'm gonna need a little bit more help than that because I just got pretty lost.
Yeah, so do that I to everything.
Okay, literally everything.
All your tickets, yeah, because otherwise it doesn't. I don't think your code will run. You want the period to be after the I. There you go. Yeah.
Um,
So what's going on here? So you're looping through it. It's checking the object first if it's equal. It's checking if the ticket of I, the value of I, and hold. So let's say, for example, San Francisco. It's checking that, checking for the destination, but it's always going to equal the destination. So I 0 is always going to equal 1 if they're the same. If I is like let's say for 1, say if I is 1, I have 0. 0 of 1, the first ticket is going to be always the 1 of 1 of ticket. Does that make sense?
uh, so that way zero is always gonna be just the first. Kind of looks like the first column.
No, right now what your if statement's doing, it's checking if it is what it is. So it's not you're not checking to see if it's the next one. That makes sense.
Oh.
Because let me see. For example, it's hold if tickets I, let's say it's the last one, it's right there, Salt Lake City, or the second last one, Salt Lake City. So hold of Salt Lake City, if hold of Salt Lake City is equals to tickets of second to last of one, that's going to be Pittsburgh. Like that's never gonna this is never gonna fire because it's just checking to see if it's the SL's if the value of the first one is equal to the value of the second in that array.
So you were saying the way I have it right now, line 28.
Yeah, 28. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the whole thing, and I was very confused.
No, no, no.
Okay, so that's okay. So whole, yeah. Sorry, go on.
The solution wants you don't need an if statement. You have the right conditional, except you, what you want to do is just append each one because you now have the ability to call any single one you need. If you have one, either say you have Salt Lake City, it will find you the Salt Lake City that, or you have a FLG as a destination, it will find you the the source that is FLG. Like you can do that just by typing it out. Like let me show you. Like for example, like if you type this hold like BHM, that's going to equal to FLG. Like that's what that's equal to. So if you say, for example, so you can now do and
Uh,
that will find you the next one that's FLG. So what you want to do is instead of relying on that, because you're not just going to keep chaining it. You could check the last, the first value of your result array, and be like, okay, so I have the first ticket that I need in my results. So now I need to find hold that is what was it,
equal.
LAX.
Yes.
So hold LAX will give you the next one.
So it should be something like where results is it result? Yeah, result. Um, okay. Result at hold. Oh no, but do I want that one hard coded? So it'll be results. And he says non-if statement, right?
Yeah, you don't need an if statement.
The result hold.
So in your you want to start your I at 1 because you have the first result. So zero of your result is done. So you want to start at 1, and then so result of I is going to equal to your second position, right?
Yeah.
And you want your second position to be equal to the destination of from LAX. How would you do that? Oh, no,
Okay.
that one's fine. Oh, wait, no, you just want I, not result of I.
No hold.
Yeah, no hold, because you're just you have the second value of your result.
So the result I, which is
So if you run this right now, it's gonna start. is going to run a loop of hold.length, and it's going to keep running, and it's just going to keep going and doing it. If you console log right now, and if you had your result already done, it would be SFO, BHM, FLG, XNA, the result, because you already have the first value, which is 0, but you initialize that I at 1. So now you want that I at 1 to equal the last result, the hold of the last result. So what is the last result? Like, it would be result minus I, right? Or result I minus 1, right?
Okay.
Because that would be the last, the value before in the result.
So it'll be, okay. So I'm basically replacing that with result I by having it like that.
No. You're doing hold of the result minus I, because it would be the value before the one you're at right now, because that's what you're looking for in your hold object.
The minus I.
I'm sorry, I minus 1. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting stuck in tongues too.
They're fine. I'm just very. Yes, it's gonna be interesting.
So if you do this right now, it's gonna start at SFO, and it's gonna say, look at the result array at the bottom. Right now it's blank. It just has LAX, but it's gonna start at the position after LAX, and it's gonna say it's gonna look for the hold, which has all your tickets. It's gonna look in your hold for whichever has LAX as its source, and then it's gonna return this destination, and it's gonna equal that. That's like, it's gonna result in SFO being right there at the number 1 position. So 0 is LAX, 1 is SFO, because you're looking backwards. And then it's going to do the same thing. It's going to look through your hold object that has all your tickets now, and it's going to look for whichever destination of SFO, whichever has source as it's going to look for SFO, and it's going to give you in return the destination, which is BHM. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just like I understand what you're saying, but then when it just comes to actually doing it, it's just trickier for me since I use console log a lot to see where I'm at. And the
Yeah.
fact that I can't do that and see like how to move on is what makes it even more difficult. And I guess it's good so I can start learning how to start thinking about it. But I understand what you're saying. It's just not actually implementing it, and that's where I keep struggling.
Well, we got to this point. This is basically a solution. I would just call it right now, and then you should like console log and see how it works. Console log the hold. Console log the hold after you filled it up, and you're gonna see just do it before that loop, like in between the loops. Put console log that hold. I want you to see that. If you're gonna take away anything from this, I want you at least. So, well, down that you have to I think you have to run reconstruct trips.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't do that. Uh,
2117.
yeah, I think our B's, and I don't know what happened to them.
2117. All right, take away the period. Maybe you can't do that. In which case I was wrong. All right, try it now.
Result and it's not a function.
Pop. Sorry, pop. Append is in Python. I'm sorry. So instead of append, put push. I'm sorry, push, not pop.
Push. Okay. Pop brings it to, it just takes it out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes out the last one. Okay, so you see there,
Yeah.
that looks like what you would make your this dot stay, right?
Yeah.
Looks familiar. So in an object, you type hold dot. You could do hold dot or brackets, either one, like an array, whichever you like. And if you put the value of the first order, it'll give you the other one, just like in like the state,
Mm-hmm.
like this dot state dot sid. It would give you slc. And so what your loop does is setting each part of the array equal to the last value and checking in the object which one of that value is equal to, and it returns the next value and it puts it part of the array. So it kind of slowly trains along, and it won't add it unless it has a value. And so the last one will be null, and so it won't add null, and it's Chicago because it checks for Chicago, and it sees that it's null, so then it just stops, and it stops going because it eventually gets to the point where it gets past the length too. So I just stops going up, and the loop's over. It has everything you need, and it has a result.
I see what you're saying, and I want to and understand a little bit better once I actually see it how it's working.
Mhm.
And it's something I'm definitely want to like keep looking more into and just see it step by step because that's how I've noticed I usually function. Because I've tried like just walk something that I think it's simple and just write it straight away, and then I make just mistakes. So that's why I kind of like const logging along the way I code, and I know it's not the best method, but it's just I think it's good right now for what me trying to learn.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's probably the way I learned too. And as you just want to see how everything's going on. And there's actually I forgot what it's called. It's called Python Tutor. Have you heard? Have you been introduced to Python Tutor?
Not Python tutor, no.
Yeah, I'll show you that. They really haven't showed you that. That's crazy. Um,
We don't touch Python to begin to CS.
yeah, but it's you could put any code in there. So yeah, you could do JavaScript,
Oh, that's really cool.
and it runs through it. So let's see, there's JavaScript tutor right there. It's like if you put in your code and you put visualize. Yeah, you click the JavaScript one.
Did it again? Where do you see JavaScript one? Oh, here you go.
JavaScript tutor right there. Yeah.
Oh,
So if you put all that code, it'll show you what's going on while all that happens. I think it would work just doing that, but I'm not sure. You might have to make some changes. It's gonna tell you.
oh, that's crazy.
So like you go forward right there, like there's a underneath there, and it shows you like, okay, you got the tickets array. That's all your
Oh,
tickets. And then it shows you line by line what each line is doing.
that's awesome. I'm a visual person, so I could talk through things out, but I definitely need to picture them and like see it more. So this is gonna be super helpful.
Yeah, no, it's great. You can see everything how it's doing step by step. You can go back and forth, see like, okay, what's going on here. You could,
Oh my God, it is so cool. Thank you for sharing this.
yeah, of course.
This is definitely gonna be helpful.
Yeah, it helped me a lot, like visualize all this stuff. And the stuff you do in computer science, it's all like this. It's all like you have to keep track of things in your head and like solve through them bit by bit, see what's going on, because you could lose track of things so easily. And this one just keeps it all right there. So it's like, you know what's going on.
And this kind of makes it a little bit easier than just console logging everything.
Yeah,
Just
no, of
finish
course.
your, yeah, and like making your code extra long just because you have console logged everywhere commented out.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin.
of course. Okay, so
you want